to put their bodies on the line. The Chicago Teachers Union causing havoc this week, protesting the proposed closing of 54 schools and 61 buildings. Union members outraged. They say kids are getting hurt. But, John, you say they're just looking out for who? Themselves?
Yeah, that's exactly what I think they're doing. Unions do what unions have always done, and that is take care of their members. And if a union head tells the teachers that they are going to start having them accountable and that they're going to have merit-based pay and that they will allow them to be fired if they don't do a good job, that union head will not be around long. Unfortunately, that's contrary to what our kids need, and our kids need an education, and we're failing our kids.
Gary B., why are teachers' unions protesting, you think?
Well, I think it's clear, and not to exactly restate what John, the whole purpose of the union is to ensure high pay for their members and that they have a job. That's what the union is there for. Look, the teachers don't care about the kids. They care about having a job. That's what they're there for. But look what Chicago faces. Chicago faces two things. One, they say they face a $1 billion deficit. What was their solution? I quote, "Consolidating underutilized schools will allow us to safely move these children to a higher performing, welcoming school near their home with all the investments they need to thrive in the classroom." So how can you say that and the $1 billion deficit and say the teachers are looking out for the kids? No, the teachers are looking out for themselves.
Toby, this all comes down to money, doesn't it?
Well, it is money, but it's also demographics. I mean, they've actually had an outflow of people in the areas, the citizens who live in these areas, number one. Number two, they've had 20 or 30,000 kids leave the public schools for the city schools where they have charter systems, and so they're actually dropping a population of students. Obviously, the exodus of people to better schools and the exit of people out of these areas is why they're closing the schools, and as Gary says, they're upside down $1 billion. It's not about the kids.
Julian, what's your take?
Well, I agree with John Layfield on the merit-based system, and I think the unions need reform there. I think Gary B. may want to consider his comment that the teachers don't care about the kids. Every single teacher I've ever met loves and cares deeply about the kids. It's possible they care about their jobs and the kids at the same time. The problem here is you do have a $1 billion debt, as Toby mentioned. That comes mostly from the economic turndown and the shrinking tax base. But, it raises the question as to whether we want to follow the European model of austerity and be making the blind kind of budget cuts that we're making at the federal and state level, rather than the smarter choices about structural reform in healthcare and entitlement spending, which is where we ought to do it. These kind of things are these kind of cuts, if I can finish the point. I don't think this is consolidation. You're going to have huge problems as a result of these school closings. It's not going to be good for the kids, and it's not going to be good for the local economy. It's being foisted on them right now because local economies don't have any other choice when they're in a debt like this.
I got to get to Jonas. Jonas, go ahead.
Julian's making a good point. You don't just go into teaching for the money. I mean, definitely unions have made it a situation where they get paid more than, let's say, whatever the free market wage would be to get teachers to do the job. And as far as the unions, yeah, they care about the wages. That's their job. The union's job is to raise wages. When you close schools, you're going to lower demand for teachers. You're going to lower wages. So this is their job. They've pitched it well in making it about the children because people don't want to hear about the compensation plans of teachers because a lot of Americans think they're overpaid anyway. Now, my problem with it is if you wanted to raise the pay of teachers to make better programs, incentive pay, whatever it is, for the students' benefit, you can make a case for that. To just pay them more than the free market wage because they're in a union doesn't really solve anything for the kids. So I think higher wages can make sense, but the way the unions go about it doesn't solve our problems with our kids.
Okay, that's got to be the last word. Thanks.